Recognizing the member for Richmond South Centre.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to respond. Before I start, I'd like to acknowledge I'm representing Richmond South Centre riding, which is located in the traditional and unceded territory of the Musqueam, Tawasan, and Quanah Coast Salish people. I thank them for allowing us to live, work, play on ancestral land. I couldn't agree more with the speaker earlier, talking about the importance of addressing the invasive species. There's often a generalized and oversimplified knee-jerk reaction when we speak about invasive species. It is easy to demonize the species that we're dealing, especially with the capacity to annihilate local species and bring down local ecosystems and even damage our economies. Often we're told we must eliminate them in all means necessary. However, when it comes to combating invasive species, we must focus on understanding collaboration commitment. And the goal often in the end is the restoration of a healthy ecosystem. I would like to take a moment to share my personal experience. For many years in the past, I led a team of volunteers and worked with City of Richmond's beautification program. And since the beginning, we were asked to help combat Himalayan Blackberry Bush, an invasive species that has proven to be able to terrorize BC plant habitat, especially Richmond's Garden City Park, which is located in my riding. When I mention blackberry, many might have fond memory of picking blackberries with their families. However, blackberry as a plant is extremely aggressive. It is capable of overpowering trees and suffocating smaller plants. It grows so fast, it can actually overwhelm an area within the summer. I personally actually have witnessed how blackberry bush grow and pull down trees many times its size. The iconic dome that's shaped by the blackberry is designed to grow stems over and pull down trees while block out sun against its competitors. Despite its thorns, my teams and I found our way to cut branches, dug out roots, and dispose the bush by the truckload. After 3 hours of bloody effort, and yes, it is a bloody effort because they often fight back with thorns, make our arms and shins bloody. Some would even suggest that our success should be continued throughout the year. However, we shouldn't, and we don't, and here's why. Blackberry bush also serve as a nesting protection for birds against predators, especially against common house cats. If we disrupt blackberry bush during the nesting season, we could inevitably, my apologies, cause unnecessary destruction to bird nests and their youngs. Poorly informed enthusiasm can lead to undesirable consequences, and therefore we thank our local expert working with us to bring that awareness to us. We are also introduced to something called Japanese knotweed. It is, again, we have a volunteer and community dedicated to combat the invasive species. However, we're told by our experts, do not touch it. Why? Japanese knotweed is brittle, and every little tiny broken piece can regrow into a brand new plant. That our enthusiasm can often be catered to a wrong direction and cause more destruction than benefit. Therefore, I want to again emphasize the importance of fostering understanding, collaboration, and commitment. And I'm so glad our government took a healthy approach in fostering understanding, commitment, collaboration in BC in our fight against invasive species. Since July 2017, our government has invested in Future Leader Program and Provincial Economic Recovery Plan under Stronger BC. Our government invested $8.7 million for approximately 160 jobs to work on projects related to invasive species management, as well as wildfire prevention and forest health. $4 million was invested to create 37 positions in BC parks and 46 positions with conservation officers to work on programs such as aquatic invasive species. $8 million in funding for Invasive Species Council for BC to provide expanded training and outreach programs, as well as collaboration with land managers and local governments and indigenous communities, and others to detect and remove invasive species throughout BC. $3 million invested to establish invasive species management partnership with indigenous communities, regional invasive species organization, local governments, and others. And there are many, many more of our government's commitment in combating invasive species in our community and our beautiful province, British Columbia. Therefore, I would like to conclude. And I encourage all our members across and all over the aisle, let us work together, work in collaboration, and work with effectiveness with understanding and precision and remove invasive species danger to our community. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.